Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to Tactical and Practical Thursdays. You know what we do here. We roll up our sleeves and we use the software because it's not enough to just talk about the strategy. We need to actually execute and show progress. And that's what we do here on Tactical and Practical Thursdays. Last time we talked, we looked at the Jira My Discovery project, and we looked at how to work with the team to create ideas and look at those different ideas across different lists and roadmap views, as well as impact versus assessment effort. In our tactical and practical project, we looked at Kanban boards, Scrum boards, backlogs, timelines. And today, we're going to look at creating a custom form. So why would you need to create a custom form versus those other things we just talked about? The My Discovery for products is where we work with our product teams to generate ideas and then have a visual display of those ideas about how we want to prioritize and what's being worked on in place. The tactical project view is where we would view a Scrum board and view our backlog of work that's in place, work that's going to be planned for future sprints or even backlogs. In this example, where we look at creating a new form, we're going to look at change requests. So this can be something that can happen inside of a Kanban working team, or maybe even inside of a Scrum team. And in the Create New Form section, you can see that there's some pre-populated templates such as feature requests, bug reports, technical review, etc. Or you can create your own from using a blank form. So once again, that was forms, choose a new form. So today we're going to be looking at the change request template that I've edited. And as you can see here, the first thing in this change request form is the title. The next thing is the description. The next thing is, are there any attachments? Supporting evidence. The next is, who's the team that you think should be assigned to this change request? The next is estimated effort. And the last is labels for any type of custom reporting you want to do. So once again, this is creating a custom change request that would be outside of the product ideas generation process and maybe outside of the tactical project, but could be part of it. And this would be where something is either working in production or we want to change something in production. And this is how we could allow our users to actually generate a change request before we prioritize and discuss this change request. So this is a very important part of the process. Now, you can look at these fields here on the right-hand side, and you can drag and drop them and assign different values, or you can even create a new field like I did with this estimated effort field. But ultimately, this is what the form would look like. So this is an example of what your users would see, and then they could raise this change request. So they could say something like this is a title. You could give them training on what a good title looks like and what a good title isn't. Maybe you want to limit the amount of characters. Maybe you want the title to be something actionable. And you can give them training on what a good overview or description is. So this is an overview of the change request. Perhaps for the attachments, what they could do is you can allow them to be creative. You can allow them to do some mock-ups inside of their computer in any type of software that they choose. Or maybe on the left side, they show the current state, and the right side, they show a mock-up of what they would want to change. If they're already working with the team, you can have them actually select the team that they think should be working on it. Obviously, you could set up some automation rules in place here, like we've reviewed in different videos, where this stuff gets automatically routed based on logic, or at the very least, you pick it up and then you assign it to the correct team where it gets prioritized and then voted on if it actually gets worked on, and then how long that'll take. And then estimated effort. This is the custom field we created. You can see this is a drop down of 1 to 5. 5 being the greatest amount of effort, 1 being the least. Now, this estimated effort is coming from the perspective of the change requester. So this is the client, this is the stakeholder, this is someone in the business that's estimating how much effort is it actually going to be to do this change request. Let's say that they estimate this is a 3. And then are there any custom labels? So maybe what they want to do, or maybe you could give them training to say, always put label X on this, and then you can give them a dashboard where they can see that. Or ideally, they are trained and empowered where they have their own dashboards and their own reporting that they can create off of the back of maybe some parent dashboards you created, and they can create child views off the back of that. So labels will help them to filter as long as the labels are done consistently. And then they can submit this. So once again, guys, what we did here today was we covered the difference between the My Discovery project and looking at the different ways that the product teams can raise ideas, look at those ideas on your product roadmap versus the tactical and practical project that the teams will actually be working inside of their Scrum, and they can see what to do in progress and done is, versus what we just created, which is a custom form for change requests, where they would raise a change request for anything that's currently working in production right now, or maybe not working in production the way that they want. And it allows them to raise that change request with a good actionable title, a clear, crisp description, some supporting evidence, and where they can actually do a mock-up with their attachments in a visual way. They can select the team that they're working with to work on this, or you can have routing logic that you can assign the team. The estimated effort from their perspective, this is super important because we're going to marry this up later with the impact and story points and things like that, where when we prioritize, they might say, well, we think this is an estimated effort of a 3, but when we actually talk to the development team, we talk to the engineers, we see what the real effort is and how we marry those two up. Maybe it isn't 3, maybe it isn't. And then any labels they'd like to see for any type of custom reporting. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for getting tactical and practical with me on these Thursdays. You know what we do here. We roll up our sleeves. We actually use the software because it's not enough to just talk about strategy. We want to execute and we want to show progress. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Remember to hustle harder, and we'll talk again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.